What is FATF? Why it is necessary to comply with rules of FATF? What is grey listing, blacklisting, and what are the repercussions of non-complying with FATF rules? We will be discussing in depth about FATF in today's video, so please stay with me until end of the video. FATF is abbreviation of Financial Action Task Force. This is an intergovernmental organization. It was founded in 1989 on the initiative of G7 to develop policies to combat money laundering. In 2001, its mandate was expanded to include terrorism financing as well. The objective of FATF are to set standards and promote effective implementation of legal, regulatory, and operational measures for combating money laundering, terrorist financing, and other related threats to the integrity of international financial system. Now let's understand what FATF do. FATF has 40 recommendations on money laundering and 9 special recommendations on terrorist financing. The recommendations are seen globally as the world standard in anti-money laundering. As well, many countries have made a commitment to put the 40 recommendations in place. The recommendations cover the criminal justice systems and law enforcement, international cooperation, and the financial system of its regulation. The FATF completely revised the 40 recommendations in 1996 and 2003. Means it keep on amending and revising its basic recommendations depending on the evolution of money laundering or the terrorist financing. Among the 40 recommendations for money laundering, the important one are implement relevant international covenants, criminalize money laundering, and enable authorities to confiscate the procedure of money laundering, implement customers' due diligence, record keeping, and suspicious transaction reporting requirements for financial institutions and designated non-financial business and private institutions or professionals. And then is establish a financial intelligence unit to receive and disseminate suspicious transactions reports. Another important one is to cooperate internationally in investigating and prosecuting money laundering. The 9 special recommendations for terrorist financing were included in Charter of FATF post September 11 terrorist attacks in the United States of America. The prime motive of these recommendations are to specifically target the non-profit organizations and bringing them in streamline with the special due diligence for the source of funds and utilization of the funds generated for the non-profit organizations. As of 2019, there are total 39 permanent members of FATF. These members include Australia, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, China, Denmark, and some of the other European countries, and then India, Israel, Malaysia, Netherlands, New Zealand, Russian Federation, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and United Kingdom and United States as well. The FATF plenary, the decision-making body, meets 3 times a year, in February, then June and October. Every time the meeting continues for 6 working days, and during these 6 working days the data on all the countries is being reviewed, and based on this 40 plus 4 recommendations, every country is being categorized under various categories, either blacklisting or grey listing or non-listing. As of latest data available on the FATF records, there are only two countries which are blacklisted, which is North Korea and Iran. And there are 18 nations which are grey listed, and out of those 18, they 18 include Albania, Bahamas, Barbados, Botswana, Cambodia, Ghana, Iceland, Jamaica, Mauritius, Mongolia, Myanmar, Nicaragua, Panama, Pakistan, Syria, Uganda, Yemen, and Zimbabwe. Pakistan has regular history of being grey listed or removed from the grey listing, or for the 2-3 years it remained under blacklisting in high risk countries as well. As of today, the Pakistan is on grey listing of FATF, whereby they have given a list of 27 points to be complied, to be removed from the grey listing. However, the Pakistan government until 3rd of August 2020 has done only 13 points complied. Although FATF has shown a little satisfaction, however, the period they have given, the desired target is not achieved. The recent amendments passed by the Parliament of Pakistan are considered to be milestone towards removing Pakistan from the grey listing of FATF, and it is expected that in the October meeting Pakistan would be removed from the grey listing, inshallah. Now coming to the last but not the least, what are the repercussions of not following the FATF rules, and if a country remains on blacklisting or grey listing, how it can be affected. So for this we have to understand the international economies. Pakistan is linked with the international economies, whereby it imports certain items and exports certain items. And out of these 39 countries which are permanent members of FATF, Pakistan has major trade with the permanent members. For example, United States, China, UK, the entire Europe, and then GCC countries including Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates. The major chunk of the exports are with FATF permanent members. And if a country is listed on the blacklisting, then they totally remove from the all kind of imports and export trading. However, in the case of grey, they keep reminding the country. However, they don't prefer to work with the grey listed countries. That is one of the reasons Pakistan's exports with the United States and some of the other FATF countries has declined drastically, and Bangladesh, who has complied the FATF regulations, are increased drastically during last few years. So if the Pakistan is removed from the grey listing, so all of these countries which are permanent members of FATF would be allowing Pakistan to export and import freely without these countries. So by removing from the grey listing, which is expected by October this year, Pakistan would be able to achieve very good exports in year 2021. So you cannot stand alone, ignore the policies and the regulations of FATF while you are connected with the entire world.